It was a big week in terms of releases, with Dragon's Dogma 2, Rise of the Ronin. Some people are playing that new Alone in the Dark game, although not a lot looking at the Steam charts. Now, but we also got some big gaming news, like what's going on with GTA 6 and Star Wars Outlaws. Sad news about Assassin's Creed Jade, and way more. Let's start with Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. A nice surprise this week, as during the Game Developers Conference, Unreal Engine had their yearly presentation, and this is where Amy Hennig, of course the creative director on the Uncharted games, showed up to talk about her next game. And it's been a while, because before this she was of course working on that Uncharted Star Wars like title at EA, but that got sadly cancelled. Her new game is running on Unreal Engine 5.4, maybe you already saw it, but it looks absolutely insane. We play a young Steve Rogers as Captain America, a World War II era Black Panther, and also a US soldier and a Wakandan spy in an occupied Paris. It seems like they're not on good terms, at least at the start of the game, as we see Captain America confront Black Panther on the bridge, and actually during the Unreal Engine showcase, they also showed this cutscene without the mask for Black Panther, and it makes it look even better. So yeah, this is all running in engine. This is what the game should look like when we finally get to play it, but we don't have any gameplay details yet, like is this a stealth takedown from Black Panther or a cutscene? Is this the start of a combat encounter with Cap? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we usually don't see the story trailer being the first trailer that they show for a game, right? So is there reason to be worried about the gameplay? Maybe. It's weird that even in the blog post they did not even talk about any of it. To be fair, this was an Unreal Engine presentation, so it makes sense that they focus on the graphics, and Amy Hennig, of course, is known for having pretty cool action in her games. So we will have to wait and see. I will keep an eye out. What we did learn is that it's another 2025 title, like that year is already getting stacked. Let me know what you thought of the trailer, of course, in the comments down below. Now let's look at that bad news for Assassin's Creed Jade, Star Wars Outlaws, and way more. Of course, if you like the video so far, leaving a like would really help me out, and subscribe, because I post one of these gaming news roundup videos every Sunday. But first, big news, because Raid Shadow Legends is 5 years old, and that means that you can get exclusive rewards for a limited time if you start playing right now. And as you might know, I've been playing the game on and off, and a lot has been added since release. With my favorite additions, including the brand new Phantom Shogun boss you can battle, there are mythical champions now that have very cool different looking styles. They recently added the Cursed City, where you can actually earn a mythical champion if you fight your way through the new map and take out the boss at the end. The game is completely free, so totally check the special link in the video description or scan the QR code on screen, and new players will then get a free epic champion and other rewards, and there are also other 5th year anniversary rewards that you can unlock after reaching level 25. I also got a clan you can join, search JorRaptor, and if you by the way use code Festival5 in the promo section, they can get even more bonuses. So check Raid Shadow Legends out for free, this would really support the channel as well, and now let's get back into it. Yeah, kinda bad news for Assassin's Creed Jade, the free-to-play RPG set in ancient China for mobile. They had this big coming out party at Gamescom last year, showcasing a new trailer. I actually played the game there, and it was really impressive. I said it before, it's basically Assassin's Creed Odyssey on your phone, but set in ancient China. And with some pretty cool elements, like multiplayer, mythical bosses you can fight. They had quite some content ready already. But yeah, it has been quiet ever since, and while they talked about a 2024 release at Gamescom, it seems that it now got pushed to 2025 because of an internal shift at Tencent. Like, if you don't know, Tencent paid a lot of money to Ubisoft to make an Assassin's Creed game for mobile, and they've now been working on it for 4 years. But Reuters now reports that they redeployed hundreds of people from the team developing Assassin's Creed Jade to work on their new party game Dreamstar. And I looked at the gameplay, it's basically Fall Guys. I think they put some Gang Beast in there as well. It's like everything smacked together. And the reason for this is because of something we talked about before in these Sunday videos. Making games based on licenses you don't own is getting less appealing for big companies. Like, Marvel takes more than 25% of every Spider-Man 2 copy that Sony sells. EA also cancelled a Mandalorian Star Wars game and wanted to focus more on franchises they own, like Battlefield. Like, you give a ton of money to these license holders, so you have to sell way more to make the same profit, versus putting all that money in a game you fully own, so you also get to keep most of the profit. But yeah, this kind of makes me worried for Jade. Delaying it to 2025 means that it will launch after Assassin's Creed Red, the big console RPG, and PC of course, that should be out this year. So then Jade will feel way more dated when it finally comes out. And does this mean that Tencent still has the plan to fully support it? Like, doesn't seem like it, because again, they have to share more with Ubisoft. I'm curious to hear your take. Felt like it was close to being done, and for them to push it last minute is kind of wild. Again, 2025 looking stacked, but the biggest game is of course GTA 6. Although Kotaku now notes that they talked to sources with knowledge of the game's development process about the fact that GTA 6 could miss its 2025 release window and slip into 2026 because of developers falling behind schedule. Now, there has been some critique on this article from insider Tom Henderson, for example, how it basically does not include any new info, but I still wanted to bring it up because Kotaku does have a pretty good track record, and also quickly touch on how they note that Kotaku was told by sources with knowledge of the situation that early 2025 is currently the goal. But that's where I'm like, I don't believe it, because we looked at the Take-Two financials before in a Sunday video, and GTA 6 just does not fall in that next financial year, with analysts later on saying this as well. And some people were saying that Jason Schreier said early 2025, but he also took it to Twitter to say, hey, that was never the case. So basically, don't expect the game in early 2025, and it might even go to 2026, but that is pretty normal for a Rockstar game. Most recently, Red Dead Redemption 2 of course went from fall 2017 to spring 2018 to October 2018. Like, there's a ton of pressure on this game. They have to get it right, so do it. Like, again, 2025 is already stacked, so we will be fine. Yeah, let me know what you think about all this. And we of course discussed the PS5 Pro leaks last week in the Sunday video and how it will probably be the best place to play GTA 6. But Digital Foundry now notes that it probably won't run 60 FPS on that console because the CPU will be identical to the regular PS5 with only a 10% increase in gigahertz. So yeah, 30 FPS is where it's probably going to be at, unless Rockstar does something crazy, and until of course the PC version releases later on. Kind of expected, but still, on the other hand, also a bit of sad news. So let's do some good news, because I got some quick shots, news stories I will go over quickly. One for Star Wars Outlaws. It might still have a surprise first half of 2024 release, because the game namely got rated by a Korean rating board. So I did some calculations, and if we look at Assassin's Creed Mirage, for example, that game got rated on July 17th, and then it launched on October 5th. So 80 days later. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was 67 days first before it got delayed to April 28th, then it became 109 days, and Division 2, the most recent game from the Star Wars Outlaws team, was 63 days between getting a rating and the release. Because when a game gets rated, it's close to being done. So like an end of May, June release is still in the cards, although it could of course also slip to like September. I will keep you posted here. And by the way, that rating also noted that there would be a mini game with in-game betting and dividends. So this could totally be a sub-bug where you have cards and try to get the closest to 23 but no higher. Like, this could totally be this game's Gwent or Queen's Blood, Machine Strike, Orlok. Like, every big open world game has a mini game like this, and seems like Star Wars Outlaws as well. Before that, we will get the Dead Island 2 Solar Festival DLC, the final expansion, on April 17th. They shared some environmental shots. Like, I'm still impressed by how good the locations in this game look. So this is, or actually was, a music festival that we now go to. We will encounter brand new enemies and also new weapons, a saw blade launcher, so maybe similar to something we saw in Far Cry. And there will be a Ripper with a circular saw meets a baseball bat. Okay. I did not play the House DLC, the first expansion, because I did not really hear like amazing things about it. But if this one is like, hey, you should totally play it, I will boot it up, because I did enjoy Dead Island 2. It's now on Game Pass as well, by the way. One day later, on April 18th, we get the Final Fantasy XVI Rising Tide DLC that I will 100% play. We already have one more combat-focused expansion, but this one really adds a new region, more story content, and even a brand new power based on Leviathan. So this means that we also have to fight the creature with Ifrit. So far it did not look as epic as other fights from the main game, but maybe there are like multiple phases that they don't want to show yet. And we have no footage of this, but during a PAX East panel they also talked about new endgame content like Cairo's Gate, where you fight your way through 20 stages that grow in difficulty, and if you are playing on the Final Fantasy mode and complete all the stages with an S tier, you get to fight a special boss. So that sounds very interesting, and there will also be a free update with one big feature where if you complete a side quest, you can, with a quick complete, immediately return to the quest giver, which is great, will save you some time. Of course, curious here, if you will check this out, let me know in the comments. Well, this coming week is easy, we will make more Dragon's Dogma 2 videos. I hope if you are playing that you're enjoying the game or enjoying the other recent releases, or maybe still Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I still have so much stuff to do in that game, I want to return, but now I'm knees deep in Dragon's Dogma 2, so can't wait to make more videos about that. Of course, subscribe to not miss it, and we will do a big Sunday video, of course, at the end of the week as well. A like on the video would really help me out, and check out my Rise of the Ronin review if you haven't already by clicking on the screen. I sadly cannot recommend that game. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.